Before I share with you my top 5 hyper coasters, we have to set some house rules first. We have to define what is a hyper coaster. Now, that could be its own video in itself, but that's not what you're here for. So today, I'm going to include all roller coasters that have a 200 to 300 foot height or drop. Hypercoasters are my favorite classification of roller coasters because it is a good representation of what all roller coasters are. There's roller coasters in this classification that go upside down, that have great height and great speed too. Welcome everyone to Roller Coaster Airtime. If you love roller coasters and you're new to this channel, you should take the time to subscribe because that's what we do. We geek out about roller coasters. Now, without further ado, let's jump into my list, and let's go to Hershey Park for an honorable mention. That one is Sky Rush. Sky Rush is a fantastic ride. Just listen to these people. I'm going to take a guess and say that's how it got its name, because the lift hill is really fast and it just rushes you up to the sky. This ride is absolutely wild. It slings you side to side. The airtime is ejector. The only thing I don't like about it is you don't actually get the airtime because you are clamped in there so tight. And also in this same park, we have another honorable mention, and that's the brand new B&M hypercoaster Candemonium. So some of you are probably saying, wait, Hershey Park has 2 hypercoasters? Yeah, they do, but they are completely different rides. Candemonium is very smooth, not nearly as intense as Sky Rush, and a completely different ride experience. Sky Rush has ejector airtime, while Candemonium offers fantastic floater air. Candemonium does have a decent helix, 2 of them actually, this cool wave turn that you just see, that offers some decent lateral Gs, but if you want the maximum lateral Gs, you need to ride Sky Rush. I did enjoy Candemonium just a tad better than Sky Rush. To find the first roller coaster on our top 5 hyper coasters, you need to drive on a peninsula, out on Lake Erie in Sandusky, Ohio. Go to Cedar Point, where you'll find number 5, Magnum XL 200. Although Magnum may be 31 years old, it has recently moved back up my list on my top 100 roller coasters as well as my top 5 hyper coasters because of these new restraints that they have put on the ride. I think they put them on in 2019, but it's made the ride enjoyable again. Magnum is known for its grand finale where it has some major airtime hills with some ejector airtime, and it used to hurt, but these yellow pads that you see here on this ride have made it much more enjoyable again, and hey, that's why it's back in my top 5. Magnum has a great nostalgic factor that comes into play with it, but it truly is a good ride if you can just appreciate what this brought to the roller coaster world back in 1989, and if you can appreciate ejector airtime. For number 4, we'll stay in the state of Ohio and just drive south down to Kings Island, where we'll find Diamondback, the 2009 B&M hypercoaster. Diamondback is an absolute airtime machine. It offers floater on the drop, it offers floater throughout the ride on almost every element that it has. It also has fantastic restraints. It has the clamshell restraints that are just so comfortable, allow you to get a good floater airtime feel. They really let you come up out of your seat. It just creates a great ride experience. This ride is themed well, it's very photogenic, and it's a great night ride. Alright, I'm prepared to catch some flack for this, but we're going to stay at Kings Island and bring you our number 3 coaster, Orion. Yes, it is my number 3 hyper coaster. At 287 feet tall and over 90 miles per hour, it's obviously the tallest and the fastest ride on this list, and it is considered a giga coaster from the definition standpoint that it has a 300-foot drop. But for the qualifications of this video, we are saying that it's any ride between 200 and 300 feet tall, or with a drop between 200 and 300 feet. So let's not argue about that right now. Appreciate Orion for what it is. Great speed hill, great airtime, great ride. Number 2, on the opposite end of the spectrum, is the Phantom's Revenge at Kennywood Park, just outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This ride is only 160 feet tall, so it's not tall enough to technically be a hyper, but it does have a drop of 228 feet on its second hill. It goes down in a ravine and just makes the drop super long. It's actually a great drop. Now, that is in stark contrast to what Orion is. Being technically a 300-foot drop, but it's not 300 feet tall as per se. That's why I gave you guys 2 honorable mentions. Let you all think that out for yourself, but if I'm just going by a 200 to 300 foot height or drop, and I'm going to include both of these, I'm saying Phantom's Revenge is better than Orion. The Phantom's Revenge flat flies for a 160-foot tall roller coaster. This thing reaches 85 miles per hour, and it literally makes you cry from the wind hitting you in the face. The second drop is fantastic, going down into a ravine, dipping underneath an old wooden roller coaster, Thunderbolt to be exact, and just intertwining with the landscape. It is just something that you have to experience. It's a different type of ride. This ride was actually originally a aero looping coaster, which was retracked and reformatted by Morgan, and I just wish Morgan would make some more rides. That brings us to number 1, and it wasn't even fair, because this is also my number 1 overall roller coaster, Steel Vengeance. Steel Vengeance has it all. At 205 feet tall, it has the 200-foot drop, over 70 miles an hour, a lot of airtime, good restraints, a comfortable seat, a good smooth ride on this RMC hybrid, near misses with some of the intertwined track. This ride is just kind of what I would build in my heavenly dreams of what a roller coaster should be. Just make it a little bit taller and give us some more airtime. that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it and you're still sticking around, go ahead and hit that like button. And it's not too late to subscribe. If you love to geek out about roller coasters, then we're the channel for you. We'll see you next time at Roller Coaster Airtime.